Hi everyone, I'm going to talk about numeric data types in Python today. So in Python there are three numeric data types. They are integer, float and complex. These are the three numeric data types in Python. Whenever you assign a value to a variable, then based on the value you give to the variable, Python by default it assigns the data type to that variable. Okay, so if you are familiar with other languages like SQL, when you declare a variable, you say if it's an integer or a varchar or a float. But in Python, you just have to say a equals to 10, and because 10 is an integer, the default data type that is given to variable a is an integer. Okay, so let's see how it works. Here I'm saying a equals to 10. Okay, when I just say a equals to 10, that means the Python has already declared this a variable as an integer because 10 is an integer. Okay, so if you want to know what type this a variable is, if you want to know what type it is, you can use type function. So when you say print type of this a variable, now I'm just running it. See, it says the variable is an integer. Now let's say I'm changing a equals to 10.6. Now because as I already told you, Python it runs the code step by step. So now we change the value of a. So the final output of a would be 10.6 and it would be of data type float. Now try printing type of a. So here the first line, the first declaration, the data type of a is integer, and the next declaration here, the type of a it changed to float. Okay, now the third numeric data type of Python is a complex number. You say it complex number because usually it is used for complex calculations. When you use j in declaring the variables, then it's by default taken as complex integer. Let's say 3j. Okay, when you give j, then it's a complex number. It is used in scientific calculations. It is used in complex calculations. Okay, we'll talk more about it when we actually get into some writing code. So for now, let's print type a, and I'm running it. See, the first one is integer, second declaration float, third declaration is complex. So these are the numeric data types in Python. Apart from this, when you want to create a random number in Python, usually there's a random function which you think of, but in Python there is no function called random, but there is a built-in module in Python. It's called random, and if you import this module, you'll be able to generate a random number. Okay, what I'm doing here is import random. Okay, now a equals to random dot range rand range. I'm giving it from 1 to 5, let's say, and I want to print a. Okay, running it again, it prints 2. So it randomly generates numbers from 1 to 5. It takes the numbers from 1 to 5 and just randomly generates any number. So that is how you generate a random number in Python. So that is about generating a random number in Python. And now let's talk about changing integer to a float to a complex. Okay, so deleting this, I'm giving a equals to 10, which by default Python makes this as a integer. Now I want to change it to float. Then what I'll do is b equals to float of a, print type of a, print type of b. Let's run this. Okay, so first line you declared a equals to 10 and that will be an integer, and then in the next line I'm creating another variable b and I'm changing the data type of a from integer to float. Then I'm printing the data type of this variable and then the data type of this variable. So data type of a would be integer and data type of b would be float. So this is how you typecast. You change the data type of the numeric variables. That's all for today. Let's meet with another video tomorrow.